Be clear, nobody's scared of nobody. All of that tough talk, nobody. All that tells me that I'm coming at you way different than I come at anybody else. Like nobody. There should be no ill feelings at all. Especially in my advice. My advice was like, hey, if you move on with somebody and that person wants to be with you and y'all planning a family together and all that, you can't come and talk crazy to me. How?
Let's be clear. Nobody is scared of anybody here. All that tough talk, all that chest puffing, all that I'm not worried energy, it really just shows that this situation is different from anything else. This is not some random internet beef where people can just throw words around and walk away like nothing happened. There should not be any bad blood, especially when the advice being given was simple. If someone moves on with another person, and that person wants to build a life with them, maybe even build a family with them, then things cannot keep being handled like everybody is in the streets arguing over nothing. That was basically the point being made. If your future child might somehow be connected to my child, then why are we acting crazy? Why are we talking reckless, like there are no real people involved? That is where the confusion comes in. The whole message was not supposed to be about hate or jealousy. It was more like, stop playing with serious situations. Because once families, kids, relationships, and public embarrassment get mixed together, the whole thing becomes way bigger than just two people going back and forth online. And according to what was being said, there were no bitter feelings on either side. At least that was the claim. Remy made it clear she was not emotional, not pressed, and not sitting around losing sleep over anybody. She kept repeating that point because she wanted people to understand that this was not coming from a place of weakness. In her mind, this was not some jealous rant. This was her trying to explain why the situation looked messy from the outside and why certain things did not sit right with her. Then she brought up something that really made people pause. She said she did not understand why every time somebody had something to promote, the conversation somehow circled back to drama. If you have a project coming out, talk about the project. If you have a business move, talk about the business move. If you have something important you want people to support, then push that. But according to her, people kept using the same old personal drama to get attention. And that was where she felt the game was looking funny. Remy basically said, it is not hard to avoid certain topics.
Your future kid possibly is going to be related to my kid. What you doing? Stop. You understand what I'm saying? There's no ill feelings on either side. And I'm not emotional. I'm not. Let's be clear. I just don't understand why when every time somebody has something to promote, talk about that. Talk about whatever your endeavor is that you have coming up.
The same publicist people use to push stories, interviews, headlines, and promo moments is the same person who can tell interviewers what not to ask before the camera even starts rolling. She pointed out that before walking into a room, someone can easily say, "Do not ask me about Remy. Do not ask me about Papoose. Do not ask me about that situation." And just like that, it does not become part of the interview. So when people say, "Oh, they asked me," Remy was not buying it. To her, if someone truly does not want to talk about something, they can shut it down before it even starts. And that is where her tone got sharper. She said she knows how the game works because she has been in those rooms before. People have tried to ask her messy questions too, and she knows she can either answer or refuse. So, in her mind, when somebody keeps entertaining the same subject over and over again, maybe they are not being forced into the conversation. Maybe they are choosing to keep it alive. And that right there is what made the internet lean closer, because suddenly this was not just about feelings anymore. It was about strategy, publicity, and who might be using the drama to stay in the spotlight. Now let's take a breath and walk through this whole situation slowly, because what started as simple online chatter turned into one of those messy moments people could not stop watching. Just when it looked like the tension between Remy Ma, Claressa Shields, and Papoose had finally calmed down, everything suddenly exploded all over again. The internet thought the storm was passing, but clearly, there was still a whole lot sitting under the surface. Late one night, Remy went live on Instagram with no warning at all. There was no countdown, no teaser, no little "I have something to say" post before it happened. People just suddenly saw that she was live, and at first, they only heard her voice. It was calm, but it had that sharp edge to it. The kind of calm that makes people stop scrolling because they can tell something serious is about to happen. Within minutes, thousands of people were watching, waiting to hear what she was about to say. Remy said she was tired of watching the story get told in a way that made her look like the villain, while Clarissa looked like the victim. She explained that she had stayed quiet for weeks, but now she wanted to share what she claimed was the full truth. As more people joined the live, the comments started flying fast. Some people were shocked, some were supporting her, and others clearly did not know what to believe. But one thing was obvious: everybody wanted to hear what she had next. Then Remy made a claim that changed the whole mood. She alleged that Clarissa was not being fully honest about her relationship with Papoose. According to Remy, Clarissa had allegedly been talking to another man at the same time. And not just some random man either, but someone connected to Papoose's circle. That little detail alone sent social media into full detective mode. People who had been feeling bad for Clarissa started asking different questions. Suddenly, the story did not look as simple as one person got hurt and one person moved on. Now people were wondering if there was a whole other layer nobody knew about. Remy then showed what she described as proof. She brought up screenshots, messages, and even a short audio clip. The voice in the clip sounded casual and confident, like the person speaking was not worried about being exposed later. Remy paused the audio, looked straight into the camera, and said this was not about chasing attention. In her eyes, this was about honesty, respect, and clearing up a version of the story that she felt was being twisted. As the live kept going, more and more people joined. Some viewers recognized certain names in the messages and immediately started posting reactions. The whole energy shifted. At first, it felt like regular celebrity gossip, but then it started feeling way more personal. It was like people were watching a private situation fall apart in front of them in real time, and nobody knew where the next bomb was going to land. Not long after Remy ended the live, people noticed that Papoose finally broke his silence. But he did not go live. He did not write a long, emotional caption. He did not start throwing names around. Instead, he posted a short video of himself sitting in his car, speaking quietly. And sometimes, that calm tone hits harder than yelling ever could. He said he stayed quiet because he hoped the things he was seeing were not real. He admitted he had made choices and accepted responsibility for them. But what hurt him most was feeling like he had been part of somebody else's plan instead of being treated like a real partner. That video spread fast. Within minutes, it was everywhere. People who had been laughing and making jokes earlier suddenly slowed down and actually listened. A lot of fans shared the clip, saying they could hear the pain in his voice. It made the whole situation feel less like messy entertainment and more like a public heartbreak that had gotten out of control.
It's so easy. It is so, the same publicist that y'all use to push stories out, that's the same publicist that before you walk into the room, you say, hey, anything about Ram, anything about this? I don't want to talk about that. That's it. It never happens. So when people are like, oh, they asked, you can say, don't talk about it. Because I would do that. If I didn't care, I'm like, I don't care what y'all ask me. I'll say what I want to say. I've been in that before. But when you really don't care, you really not about, you think people don't be trying to ask me stuff? And I'll be like, what? You understand? I just don't understand.
Meanwhile, Claressa stayed silent at first. No video, no comment, no long statement, nothing. And of course, that silence only made people talk more. Some believed she did not know how to respond. Others thought she was being smart and taking time before saying anything publicly. But while she stayed quiet, the internet did what the internet always does. Screenshots, old posts, side-by-side photos, and timelines started spreading everywhere. Fans turned into investigators, comparing dates, locations, captions, and tiny details like they were building a case. Then later, Claressa finally posted a short message. She did not mention names. She did not directly respond to Remy or Papoose. She simply wrote about learning lessons and growing through heartbreak. But because everything was already on fire, even that short message became part of the bigger conversation. For some people, Claressa's short message felt honest and human. It gave the feeling of somebody trying to process pain without turning every detail into another public fight. But for others, it felt way too vague. They felt like if serious claims were being made, then a soft message about lessons and heartbreak was not enough to clear anything up. People wanted details, names, timelines, and real answers, not just a sentence that could mean anything depending on how you read it. Remy, on the other hand, stayed calm and confident. She did not come back with a long rant. She did not sit online arguing with every comment. Instead, she posted a simple photo of herself enjoying a quiet moment, with a short caption about being unbothered. And that alone said a lot. Many people took it as Remy basically saying, I already said what I had to say. She looked like someone who had dropped her side of the story and was now letting everybody else catch up. Then the conversation started moving past just feelings and into something bigger. One clip began circulating where a woman said Claressa Shields was a strong example of how a woman can be handed a man and still end up focused on the woman who walked away. The point being made was that sometimes it is not enough for someone to feel chosen. They also want the other woman to be hurt by it. They want a reaction. They want jealousy. They want proof that they got under your skin. According to that take, the obsession does not always come from love. Sometimes it comes from ego. The idea was that Claressa allegedly could not understand why Remy seemed so calm after walking away from a man Claressa appeared to care about so deeply. And because Remy did not look broken, bothered, or desperate, that may have made the whole situation even more frustrating. Because for some people, the real ego boost is not just being picked, it is knowing the other person is upset about it. But then came the consequences, and that is where the story started looking even heavier. Fans noticed that Claressa's face had apparently disappeared from a recent brand campaign she had proudly shared before. That one detail had people whispering immediately. People started wondering if deals were being paused, if companies were backing away, or if brands simply did not want to be connected to a controversy that was getting messier by the hour. Papoose also pulled away from the spotlight. He stopped posting as often and did not seem eager to run to interviews or explain himself further. Some reports claimed he canceled studio sessions and focused on himself instead. And honestly, that made the whole thing feel less like entertainment and more like a real-life situation where everybody involved needed to step back before it got even worse. What started as a rumor about where somebody spent a holiday turned into a much larger conversation about trust, loyalty, public image, and what happens when private pain becomes internet content. People online began sharing their own stories, talking about how hard it is to heal when strangers are watching, judging, laughing, and choosing sides. Because once the internet gets involved, the truth is not the only thing that matters anymore. The storyline matters too. At this point, the drama is no longer just about Remy Ma, Claressa Shields and Papoose. It has turned into a lesson for everybody watching. Some people see it as a reminder that relationships in the public eye can get dangerous fast. Others see it as proof that the internet can build somebody up one week and drag them right back down the next. One day you are the victim. The next day people are digging through your posts like detectives. Nobody knows what happens next. Will Clarissa speak more openly and answer the claims directly? Will Remy use all this attention to come back with a stronger message in her music? Will Papoose step back into the spotlight, or will he stay quiet and protect his peace for a while? For now, the only thing that feels certain is that people are not done talking. Every post, every photo, every caption, and every small move will be watched, judged, and broken down like evidence. And that is what keeps this whole drama alive. It is not just the famous names attached to it. It is the way the situation reflects real emotions, real mistakes, real pride, and real consequences playing out on a screen for everybody to see. But now we want to hear from you. Do you think Remy was right to speak up, or should this whole situation have stayed private? Drop your thoughts in the comments, like the video, and subscribe for more updates, because with this story, it really feels like the next move could change everything.